So tonight we have a wonderful class from our amazing partner, Diana Webb. Diana's business name is Wellness is Essential with Diana, and it's a fantastic, she's just one of the most giving and generous leaders that we have. If you are not a member of her group, go check it out. She's just filling us with education every single day. And I feel like while she has a lot of different passions, the two that we just get served so beautifully are her passions for skincare, natural skincare, and emotional health, right? These are sort of like, the areas where she's really just poured herself into researching, and then is able to turn around and share it with us in a way that makes it so that we can all take it in. It's not overwhelming. I love it. It's just, I always leave these feeling so inspired. So we're really excited. Thank you so much, Diana, for doing this for us tonight. I'll let you take it away because I'm sure you have a ton of awesomeness to share. I'm
I
going to keep
do have
letting all these
a
people.
ton of information.
I have a waiting room full of people to let in, so I will let
Oh,
you roll away with it there.
yes, please let them in. So welcome to Balance Your Emotions. This class is about, as you can see behind me, the Emotional Aromatherapy line, and really a deep dive into what its uses are and how to really get into it and really make use of it in terms of your own personal growth and development in identifying your own emotional needs. Okay, so that's what this is for. So hopefully you have some of your oils with you. Um, so here's about me sharing the use of essential oils for emotional support and empowerment and personal growth is my passion. Why? Because it's worked for me. And I've found that to make breakthroughs and support transitions, there's nothing better than using the doTERRA essential oils and blends because they're just so supportive. They're so pure and they're just exactly what they say they are. And they do even more than what is on the bottle. So they're just amazing. And I'm really glad you're here. So let's take a look at what we're talking about. So today we're talking about a book that's called Balance Your Emotions, and it's based on a book that you can get on Amazon very easily that was written by Dr. Carol Kunkel Miller. She is a psychologist and a psychiatrist, and she's also a doTERRA lady as well. And so she co-wrote this with another psychologist. So she has a lot of interesting information about how to bring in therapeutic like effects of the oils for your life, right? And then I have a whole list of different things we'll be talking about. So what we're talking about today is emotions versus feelings. So what's the difference? How to identify feelings, patterns, and your bodily experience with them. Also, the emotional balancing process, which is what Balance Your Emotions book is all about, and using each emotional aromatherapy blend. So that's the ones we have that are, peace, cheer, motivate, passion, console, and forgive. And also just how to take additional um, actions, uh, use oils and other oils for support and supplements, and then emotional support blends that you can DIY at home with your oils that you have, and also a sample wellness box. So we got a lot of things to talk about. So next, we're going to talk about emotions versus feelings. Okay, so this is all about um, kind of getting out of those patterns that we have, because a lot of us in this society and just in the way that we are as women or as moms, dads, whatever, we are repressing our feelings. So we don't feel our feelings, we push them down, and that causes us a lot of discomfort. It causes a lot of discomfort to live like that. And what we want to make normal is expressing those feelings can be an effective way of releasing those patterns, right? So that's super important because, when you're in this emotional pattern that has been developed over many experiences with others in your life and family patterns as well, of what you were told, stop crying, oh, you don't have any reason to be upset about that, whatever it is, you know, they contribute to self destructive coping behaviors. And that's just not what we need to do with our emotions. They are really a helpful thing that our body gives us, and we need to learn to make friends with them and embrace them. So there's hope. We can break free of those patterns, we can adjust, we can adapt, and we, can get our body feeling better, and as well as feeling better with our emotions and more comfortable with that. Because when we feel that repression happening in our body, it causes a pattern of pain sometimes, or disrupted bodily processes, and it's part of your overall health and your wellness and how you want to work. So let's just talk about just generally what are emotions and what are feelings. Okay, so emotions are very quick. They give you often like a bodily reaction, like, say, you're embarrassed, so your face turns red, that sort of thing, right? So they, as I said, advise us and inform us. And we tend to say that this is negative, being mad is negative, or being happy is positive. But really, emotions, all of them, are important for our self knowledge. And we want to embrace, of course, the positive ones and create more of that, right? Because that helps us. But we also need to pause before creating this emotional response. If we can, we need to learn that and practice that, because um often that can cause us to be in conflict with others, or to say something or do something that later we're going to regret, right? Due to this rush of emotion that we do, and we don't deal with it properly, right? So if we experience danger, it's important to, I mean, sorry, danger, anger. I wrote that wrong. It's important to understand that anger is connected, what it is connected with, and how we can evaluate the options in responding to that anger, right? So when we pause, when we take a minute and we pause, okay, then that gives us an opportunity to gain awareness and self control of how we express, of how we act in response to these emotions. So feelings, in contrast to emotions, tend to be longer duration. They tend to be tied to more of perception and interpretation. And sometimes they're conscious and sometimes they're unconscious. So they can be underlying the surface. Like, we can feel a fearful, like, under the surface. We're not actively feeling fear, but we might be feeling that a certain person or a certain situation is not comfortable for us. And why is that? Because we fear it, maybe. So you know there's when we have feelings, then those are the encompassment of the emotions. Okay, so emotions, when you have a feeling of certain feeling like forgiveness, you're going to encompass that with other emotions, right? Like tears, or maybe anger, or hurt, or something, like love. Different emotions are going to be underlying that feeling. So that's how emotions and feelings work together, right? So we might take those emotions and put them into this long-term thing that's kind of riding along with us. For example, worrying. So we worry and we keep bringing it back up and bringing it back up, or we keep holding it with us and carrying it with us. So you need to give yourself the right to pause, so that you can promote self exploration and look for healthier, more thoughtful responses. So how do we do that? Let's take a look. at doing that just right now with me with an essential oil. So say you have some balance with you. If you happen to have balance with you, or any oil that you have with you is fine to use. Maybe wild orange, balance, lemon, anything like that. You could take a look at that, right? So when you're looking at using essential oils to support that healthy emotional concern or mood, you know, you want to use the best kind. And if you have doTERRA, you have the best kind because they're therapeutic grade, they're tested grade, and they are not in place of any kind of other medical practitioner's advice or their prescriptions, but they are not um, counterintuitive to use them along with your medications, because for the most part a diffuser is going to be really wonderful in the background of anything that's going on in your life. So you know so when you smell this balance, say you just take a whiff of the balance, you're going to see that it changes something in you. It gives you something different than what the moment is. So, say you're in a traffic jam or something, and you have some balance in your diffuser necklace or on your wrist, and you're starting to feel yourself getting really bent out of shape, like really upset, mad, just like about to lose your stuff, right? And start yelling at somebody. What happens when you say take a sniff of balance or your other essential oils that you have with you, happen to have with you or wearing? It brings that pause into the moment. So that is what is wonderful about essential oils, and using them. They cause that limbic part of your brain, that like, I'm going to get upset, I'm going to get worked up kind of part of your brain, to stop and take notice and go, wait a minute, wait a minute, what am I doing here? And like, it can be just about any oil. So it's really an amazing response and reaction. And that is the whole point of using them and giving yourself the right to pause. So, um, we're going to also learn how to process using them, process an emotional experience using them, and learn more about just overall mindfulness and our patterns and our themes. So, we're going to go on to the next slide, which is identification of feelings. So, I suggest you either take a screenshot of this slide or save it somehow. And we're just going to put something in there that is like a moment in your day. So say like you walk into the kitchen and the dishwasher or the sink is just filled with dirty dishes, and you have an emotional response to that when you just see that, right? So you're going to ask yourself, you're going to pause for a minute. If you need to use your oil, smell your wrist, whatever it is, for a second, and then pause. You're going to try to identify your feelings, right? So is this a common feeling for you? Is this usual? Does this happen often? So how long have you had this feeling? Is this an underlying feeling that you're carrying along with you? Do you feel it anywhere in your body? So when you're feeling this feeling, do you feel heat in your face? Do you feel tension in your shoulders or clenching of your teeth or anything like that? What do you feel? Is it a physical sensation or tension? Or is it your breathing has changed and now your breathing is much faster or much deeper or much shallower? What is it? Like, or you breathed in and you didn't let it out, like you, and then you didn't let it out, soon enough. So, what triggered this feeling? What triggered it? Was it something you saw? Was it something you heard? Was it something you immediately felt? In the sense of like you saw something, you felt that, or so you need to think about that. What was that? And then do you feel it at a certain time of day or week, right? So is there a certain time when everything just kind of falls off the rails during the week or the month, and you just that's when you're encountering this sink full of dirty dishes and nobody's helping, and you're just getting you like, you're winding up into all these thoughts, right? So is this feeling connected with a person, a place, or an activity? So, sometimes you might get a feeling, as I said, of tension from driving. So you're like get in that car and you're just feeling tense. You're just like you immediately your shoulders start hunching up and you're just like getting annoyed about it, right? About traffic. So you need to be aware of these things because your system is reacting to this, and this is what leads to that stress response that's so bad for your health, right? So then the last question is or not the last question. So what do you typically do in response to this feeling? This is a key question, sorry, because this is like, where you can change your reaction, where you can look into it and say, like, yeah, I used to yell every time, the dog was barking, and I was like, shut up to the dog or something, right? And that didn't make me feel good. That didn't make the dog feel good. That, isn't what I want to be doing. So, is it working for you? Is that working for you? Or are you left with like this, you know, amped up sensation of emotion that is just really like now I have to like come down from that, right? And is it working for you because you like that? That's something to be concerned about as well. Like, do you, if you're yelling about something and it gets you some certain results, is that what you want? Does that make you feel good or get you certain attention? You need to think about these things because you're the one who's in that moment and you don't want it to run away with you and turn you into a pattern of, and then you would always yell at me about this. Remember how mom would yell at us about this, right? We don't want that to be our kids' memories, our husband's memories, our friends' memories, our boyfriend, girlfriend memories, right? Of what we do during our life, right? So, and what do you wish you could do when you feel this way? So, if your response is like to this feeling is you just want to run away from it, or you just want to punch something, or you just want to scream, or you just want to sit down and like give up, you just instantly feel exhausted, you're giving up right that at that moment. These are important things to note. So that's why I said you guys should have a journal. So this is a great thing to keep so that you can use it for journaling and figuring out what you're doing. You can kind of like troubleshoot yourself and how you behave, right? So we get into habits with our emotional responses. We um repeat thoughts, we repeat those emotions, and they get in a grooves and pathways of our brain, and they just become the way that you deal with life, but they don't have to be. You can change. Your brain is very elastic and it can change the way it deals with things, right? So you could stop with that pause, use a little bit of your essential oil at that moment, or make sure you take your adaptive capsule that morning, right? And just stop a minute. So like this is I just got peace out, right? So thinking about all that made me feel like I should get peace out and smell that because it has that wonderful quality to bring you back down. You can change, Leslie. Yes, for sure. You can change your patterns. You can change if something's not really working for you, like you say it's working for you because you said jump and they jumped, you know, like is it working for you, or is it just creating this like tension in your body and this cortisol stress reaction that's just like bringing you into this point where you've got this adrenal response and now you're gaining weight around the middle and just like all these cascade of effects that are just really not what you want, right? So in the long term, is it working for you, right? Maybe in the moment it's working for you, but maybe in the long term it's not so much working for you. It might be working against you, in fact, right? So, just in general, let me just say, oils are amazing. And when you use them regularly, like say you put just a drop of wild orange in your water every day, you begin to change. You begin to feel better. They begin to feel so much more supportive. When you have that little oil routine that you can do, it's amazing the change that can be brought about, in your thinking, in your emotions, in what's going on with you on a day-to-day basis, right? So next is our practice pausing and identifying. Yeah, peace is yum yum. Peace is amazing. um yeah, that is a wonderful one. So pausing and identifying, we were just talking about that. So you want to explore and discover what works for you, right? So if you feel drawn to your adaptive every day, use your adaptive every day whenever you feel drawn to it. If you feel drawn to your peace roller or your cheer roller or your motivate roller or your balance or your serenity or your citrus bliss or any of your oils, use them. Use them. Find a way to use them. They can be used um, aromatically in your diffuser, topically on your body, and internally if they have the supplemental facts. So they can really become part of your daily support that you need for not just your physical body, but also for your emotional ups and downs that you're experiencing, right? So, yeah, experiment. Um, think about solutions that work for you. Like, does rubbing something on your feet make you like stop and take a second? And is that good? Or is like maybe uh, the unscented lotion that we have, you can add some oil to that and just apply it to your hands and moisturize your hands at the same time and give yourself a second. Or just a couple drops of bergamot in your tea, just like stopping. Oh, sorry, my little screen decided it wants to take a dive. um I saw it just in time. Okay. Like, it's coming towards me. Okay, sorry. So now we're gonna just do this little exercise when you guys are ready. So you can experiment with different oils and self-care solutions that help you through your process and journal what actually helps you, right? So, and then remember that and or keep track of that. Even if all you do is just like keep track of it on like say your daily planner or maybe like your calendar that's there at your desk, that'll still really support you and help you. So just keep track of it. Sorry, I'm gonna look and see if this is where my screen is. Sorry, I have to see myself to see what's going on with my screen. And fix it. Hold on. Okay, better. Okay, back to this. All right. So we're going to do this really just simple exercise, right? So I want you all to just take a second and just kind of be ready to do this. Don't be writing anything or holding anything. I mean, if you're driving, please continue driving safely. Okay. So check in with your body and your breath in this mindfulness exercise. This is really not going to take long at all. You can keep your eyes open or you can close your eyes, whatever works best for you. Go ahead and breathe deeply into the belly for a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold that breath in for a count of 3, 2, 1. Slowly exhale for a count of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And suddenly you're in a more centered state. Suddenly you're back in your body, right? So this is super simple exercise. It doesn't require huge time commitment. It doesn't require anything but like a check in to yourself or just a momentary check in to yourself. And this mindfulness allows you the choice to be present in this moment right now, not to carry the tension of the past or the anxiety of the future with you in this moment, right? You're just here and everything else is outside of that at just right now in this moment where you take your breath in. Okay. That's where you can find peace right here. Okay, so it's wonderful to select any kind of grounding oils that support the process. You can use the yoga oils are wonderfully supportive for emotional support. So you can use peace, you can use balance, you can use anchor, and you can use everybody's favorite here, vetiver, to just use that moment to just take a second for yourself and really breathe in and figure out where you're at right now, right? So then you can journal your results and your responses to these questions, and you can take action, right? So what do you want to take action on? You want to take action on a solution that's going to lighten your load, that's going to bring that moment, you know, few and far between, so you might need to delegate or you might need to delete, right? So you can delete things. We all feel like we have to, have to, have to. We don't have to. We don't. We can use our wonderfully elastic and magnificent brains to decide what's really important, what's really needed, what's really necessary. And we can let go of the things that are not. We can move those right out and just do something different. And I guarantee you that you've got the creativity and you've got the ability to figure out, how to ask that question to get that help. So many of us just don't even ask. We don't ask. We just accept that this is the way it is, and we are resentful and we're mad and we just feel it put upon. And maybe if we were just to ask and reach out for a little bit of support, we would get it, right? And I mean, this is just in our regular, lives that we live. And I'm not talking about extreme cases of anything, any kind of extreme relationship situations that are, very dysfunctional, that are not going well. Okay. That is not what I'm talking about. And that's not how to deal with that. But, um, in our where we're at right now, which is, for I think a majority of us, we're dealing with a wonderful family who does care about us and love us, even though they're kind of spoiled and bratty and they don't act like they will support us. They will. Just ask them, just talk to them for a minute and you'll be like amazed at what they'll step up and do. And sometimes they're just waiting for you to kind of step back and let them in there because they wanted to try to do something. And that makes them feel really empowered and that makes them feel really part of, keeping this ship going, right? Keeping this whole thing going. So, don't be afraid to do that, to just have a little talk and say, look, I can't do this anymore. We need to figure out how to divide this up and figure out this out because this is just stressing me out and it's making me a person that I don't want to be, right? So, and you'll be wowed by the response you get, I guarantee. So, we need to also just make sure that we're in touch with our bodies. Okay. Because often we're holding all these things in our body, and we need to really be able to pinpoint what's going on there and just kind of slow down and find out, why is my stomach upset? Why are my shoulders tense? Why do I have a headache? all of those kind of things, right? We need to really just take note of these things, right? So pause and identify. Okay, so we're here. The emotional balancing process. Woo woo, right? Okay, so this is um really a great way to fuse mind, body, and aroma. Okay. So, what we have is we have cognitive awareness in our mind, we have emotional awareness in our body, and we have integrative awareness when we're using oils, right? The aroma, it creates a link between our mind and our body. Amazing, right? So, the attention section, right? This is then we're going to use our oils, and we're going to use these 5 A's, right? Attention. First, we need to notice what's going on within ourselves. Pause, check in with yourself as we just did. Um, if something's drawing your attention, an experience that you just had, um, look into it. And, like, say you yelled or something, or say you started crying or something. Why did you do that? You could still pay attention to routine events, and you can still look for a trigger. Sometimes we have a trigger to a sensory cue. It can be visual, it can be auditory, and we can stop right then, like set a little alarm on our phone, stop right then, and just stop and take care of ourselves, do our little check-in, right? So certain times during the day, we can find that little space to take care of ourselves, right? And do, like, stop and check in, or we can create that moment by setting an alarm or something like that. Um, Whatever works for you. Don't make it into like a chore so that you're like feeling upset about it, and it turns a whole thing around, right? So again, you're gonna do that body check, and you're going to figure out what you know right there, and notice your response, okay? And then we're gonna look at acceptance. So we're not judging our experience, we're not judging ourselves. We are using the practice of acceptance to develop self compassion, and to be able to understand that we can look at ourselves a little bit from the distance and just see the person that we are, not the role and the job that we do, and the expectations that we placed on ourselves. So we really need to understand that our societal and our own expectations can create a lot of tension for us and can really upset us. So we need to step back and not judge ourselves and practice our self compassion. So, acceptance, super important. Okay. Then, after you have attended to and accepted your experience in the moment, that is awareness, right? So, next, we're going to find out, what is this moment connected to? Yeah, I like it too. I think it's a really easy process. And I tried to really just boil it down so that you could save this as your, little reminder, right? So, awareness. Sometimes we are dealing with stuff that's going on right now, but it's really not going on right now. Okay. It is something that you encountered in the past. It is something that you um, had conflict with, or that you haven't let go of, or that you're just carrying with you, some anger, a hurt, something, right? And you really need to stop and see that little things can be coming from big things, right? So this little thing can be coming from a big thing, and you need to find out what that is. And that is your connection. So you're making connection to your thoughts, your images, any events or things that happened in your life, experiences that happened, um, that have to do with that emotion, right? And sometimes it just teaches you, oh, I when I got angry, it got this certain thing to stop. So now I keep getting angry all the time. And, that's not a good way to cope with every single thing in life, right? Getting angry constantly because it's super draining for everyone. And then it causes these experiences of you now lashing out at people. You don't want to do that, right? So just be patient with your awareness. Um, Ask the question to yourself, what is this about? Don't be in a rush or pressuring yourself, and the answers will come. They will come. And when you're ready, okay? Don't overwhelm yourself and upset yourself. Just take it easy and take it one day at a time, okay? Then the fun part, the aroma, right? So, what's going on with you? How are you feeling? Do you need soothing? Do you need calming? Do you need grounding? So, then we're going to show I'm going to show you all of this afterwards, but there you go. Right behind me here, the aromatherapy emotional aromatherapy wheel or the essential emotions wheel, right? Okay, so we're going to talk about those a little bit more in depth, but generally, it helps you to use your oils, and we're going to get like dig deeper into those. So this is the chance for you to kind of make that investment of adding a little bit more to your library and having something on hand that helps you look up how to use your oils even more and even better, right? So do it because you'll love it. Okay, so then you can use that to find an oil or blend that will help. So say you were um distressed. Look at that. Citrus right there. Citrus helps with distress. What do we have that really helps you when you're feeling distressed? Cheer. We have cheer. Yeah. Or if you're really like to a point where you're really, really upset and you're just feeling like you really need a lot of support and you're feeling hurt and sad, and you can reach for your console, right? And you could just be ready with that. Smell it from the bottle, add it to your diffuser, roll it onto your heart, console, and it is amazing. So we're going to talk in depth about each of the blends in just a second. So, and then you're going to take action. So you're saving yourself first with your wonderful aroma, and then you take the action of journaling what happened, um what what was that about, right? Console is amazing. I know console is so necessary in life. And you're going to do a self-supportive behavior. So what is that? That is one of those from all the way from lying down and taking a nap to, or a bath or something, to just that moment of just putting on that lotion with your oils, or just sitting down and kind of rubbing your feet for a minute or your hands for a minute with them, or just breathing them. Or you can phone a friend. You can get support from a trusted ally, and you can really, really just say, like, I feel upset. Do you have a second to talk to me? And then you can talk to your wonderful friend or your, you know, um, whoever you need to talk to, even if it's like just your little pet, because pets are wonderful allies who can support us and can be there for us too. And or you might drop into prayer or meditation, and or you can have an affirmation. So say, like, let's not be like Jerry Seinfeld situation. It's not serenity now, but an affirmation that says just a basic thing like, I can get through this. I'm going to be okay. I am capable of feeling at ease and peace. something like that. You can also turn it into a prayer, right? So you can pray for ease and peace. You can pray for that. Okay, pray for that support as well if you need to. So any of these things are a wonderful support. And I'm uh, more is coming, Kim. More support is coming. After this class, I will be posting some of these resources in the Facebook group, and I'll be giving them to Carrie to add to the website as well. So next, we have our emotional aromatherapy wheel. So as we talked about, you can get this from doTERRA. I got this little page, and I took it to a print shop, and they made me this wonderful poster, which is really big and lovely and really useful. So it's just it tells you how to use each blend, how to choose each blend, and how you can, and what they're all called, right? So they're all made up of varying components, which we're going to talk about a little more. And then I will share that information also in our Facebook group. And so they're made of herbs, grasses, spices, citrus, mint, florals, and tree oils, right? And all those different blends help to support all those emotions, right? So when you look at the emotional aromatherapy wheel, you're going to say, am I feeling apathetic? Maybe I'll try some motivate. Am I feeling fearful or worried? Peace, because peace has florals and mints in it. Is my heart hurting? Am I feeling hurt or wounded? Console, right? Am I feeling um, bitter or ashamed in some way? Then I'm going to go for forgive. And these are super oversimplified, but they really do work so well. Or am I feeling discontented, bored, disinterested? I'm going to reach for my passion to bring me back into this moment. Or am I feeling, as I said before, it was distressed or gloomy? Cheer. Cheer helps to bring you right out of that moment. So we're going to go to the next wheel situation. So this still has to do with this emotional aromatherapy wheel, and it shows you the different oils and the types of emotions they address. So when you're looking at citrus oils, this is what they do. And that little wheel, and all of this I got from a PowerPoint that doTERRA has, and I'll put that in the files section of our group and send that to Carrie to use. So it shows you all the different components of all the different oils, like what their chemical makeup is, and what they do, right? So spice oils, they have overlaps, bored, somber, disinterested with the spice oils. The tree oils, wonderful for grieving, sad, ashamed. The floral oils, helpful for when you're feeling fearful, worried, hurt. The herb and grass, discontent, bitter, angry. So you get moving with some of those herb and grass. You get to that grounding. Also with the tree, you get to that grounding sensation, or you get a sensation of movement. Sorry. Water. And then we have our mint. Excuse me. Mint for apathetic, insecure, anxious, right? Like you would think like that mint was like really kind of waking you up kind of sort of oil, but they really do help to dispel tension. Mint is amazing like that. And of course, citrus, uplifting. It's going to lift you up from that discouragement, gloom, and distress. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to share all this with you because it's really cool. It comes in a PowerPoint that they made.
I like
And then you'll be able to, yes.
I just like that way you can, maybe you have a, maybe peppermint's too much for you, but you could go spearmint, right? I like that it's just a mint or a spice or a tree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
we all
for
kind of
sure.
have the one that we resonate with, or maybe your collection hasn't grown to such an extent, right? If you have one of each,
Exactly.
you're
Exactly.
right. I love that. This is cool.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at it like, the citrus bliss, even if you're looking at that, it's going to have just tons of citrus in it, a whole variety of them.
Yeah.
So amazing to really bring out that beautifulness. And if you just look at like what Susan does, she does the On Guard and Citrus Bliss together. It's like a perfect mood lifter
Yeah.
because they of the way that they work together, right?
Yeah.
So
And it's,
yeah, so it's a great way to blend them.
oh, I like that. This is cool. I want this blown up. Like,
it
go to your printer and get it blown up. I really,
is your secret, Susan. I when you said that, I just never forgot that. I was like, wow, that's just so simple and perfect. Nobody needs anything more than On Guard and Citrus Bliss.
well, yeah. I mean, if you're discouraged, gloomy, distressed, somber, disinterested, bored, you're covered there, right? And then
Right?
with just those, that's a pretty good
I
combination.
know. And people
Plus,
thought On
it's
Guard was
comfortable.
just to, keep you healthy. Well, look at that.
Yeah. So
Keeps you
cool.
happy too.
Super cool.
So we're going to go to the essential emotions wheel. And this wheel is associated obviously with this book. Okay. So, right. It's true. It's true. Um, it's true, Celine. So this is a great book for anybody who wants to go through and use their oils really on an emotional level to support themselves, right? Because it's a great guide for processing, releasing, and living with your emotions, right? Free of getting stressed. So it explains all the different blends like in a really quick chart in the back. It has a reference where you just look at like this is funny. So say you're feeling greedy. You just look that up in the under the G section of this. Greedy. You like that? That's funny. And you find wild orange and spikenard to support that, right? So it's like a super quick reference like this in the back, but then you can go and read up on them and it explains them all in the book. And it's really a wonderful way to kind of bring forth all those different things. And you'd be amazed at all the different things they talk about. I mean, they talk about your organs in here, they talk about your stomach and your spleen, and they talk about your teeth and how you behave with that, or if you're or your toes even. Like it's so interesting. You can do it, you can get this in the book form, or you can get it as an app as well on your phone, Essential Emotions. So it's amazing and it's super useful. Like it's super useful when you're creating blends and trying to figure out what's going on with you and kind of dig into that and feel better. And then you have this wonderful wheel, and here's what you're looking at. It is very, very detailed. This wheel is super detailed. It's laminated, so you have to get this separately from the book or like in addition to the book. It says negative emotions or positive properties, and so it just gives you all of the different oils, and it says the names of all of the blends in the way we use them in doTERRA, so you're not confused because some guides don't do that, right? And it gives you like these big sections of like acceptance, and then it breaks it down into smaller sections, which explains to you like what kind of acceptance of inner beauty, good. Acceptance of body acceptance, worthiness, so forth. And it tells you, yeah, grab some grapefruit, some Slim and Sassy, some, oh wow, is it snowing really? It's been looking kind of chilly. Um, some HD clear. Isn't that just New Mexico in spring? We could have a blizzard at any time. Yeah, so this is great. Or if you looking at this negative, I don't like to say negative emotions, but this is just the way they're able to describe them here. So say you are feeling like unnurtured. It recommends myrrh. You're feeling unnurtured. Yeah. Or overwhelmed. And you're feeling in that section of overwhelmed, you're feeling overworked. Tangerine.
Right.
Interesting, right? Like it's such a interesting way to kind of get in touch with what's going on with you, identify it. And it doesn't tell you how to use them on the wheel. It just gives you like a direct reference to that emotion on the wheel. So say, um, when they gave us the holiday joy in the, that was because they were concerned that we were feeling sadness and estranged from others. So the holiday joy helps us to feel that community sense and brings us back into that. And then you can also refer to it on this side, but no, it doesn't say how to use them on the wheel. It does explain how to use them in the book. Right. And of course, you're going to follow the basic guide of, like, because it tells you all three. If you can use like on guard right here, it gives you all three ways because you can use on guard all three ways. How to use it in your diffuser, how do you use it, topically, how do you use it internally. Yeah. So it's wonderful. It's great guidance to help you support yourself emotionally. And you can really get in there. You think aromatically would be best for, sorry, emotional support? Yes, I agree. Yes, Romelia. That's going to get to you the fastest, right? Because we have that limbic system, we have that olfactory bulb that's right there. It's part of the brain, it's directly connected to that limbic system, and you will smell it and it will just immediately bring that little space, that pause from your emotion to, what reaction you're going to have. Yeah. Yeah.
This this
Aromatic is the
wheel,
best.
this wheel has, I've had this wheel. I don't have one with me now, but it's interesting because I always feel like it kind of speaks to the different ways, and tell me if I'm wrong here because I might be totally wrong, but the different ways that people sort of are. Like some people are thinking about how they feel sad or they feel unsupported, or you know what I mean. And so I love that if you are someone who's coming from that perspective, you can look that up on this wheel or in the book
Yes.
and find a tool.
So quickly.
Yeah.
So quickly. No, it's crazy
Yeah.
because like say you want to look at like awareness. Like say you're just like wanting to build up your awareness of something.
Right.
You
You can
know,
pause it.
it gives you like exactly, like it breaks it down even more so that it really just like helps you to identify, you
Yeah.
know?
And what happens is you start to become better at identifying your own emotions and needs. But I love because some people, like I tend to be more along the lines of I don't think of my emotions as how I'm currently feeling. I think of it as how I want to feel. So I tend to look
Right.
at the
Right.
positive side and go, I want to
Right.
feel this. You know what I mean? So I can use
Yeah.
that side or the other side. It doesn't matter. It's just you have the tools no matter what
It
side
doesn't, but
person.
I think that this is really good for
Yeah,
um helping you to find the words, helping
exactly.
you to find
That's
like
exactly
the
right. Yep.
words for what's going on, because a lot of times we feel this generalized feeling,
Yeah,
and it really helps to get those words and kind of hone into what is it, what really is it that
yeah.
I'm feeling,
I love
you
that.
know.
It gives you the
Yeah, so
vocabulary to identify it.
cool.
even like you were just saying, overwhelmed or overworked or this, right? Like, you can't just look at the positive side and be like, I want to be happy. Like, there'd be one big thing with a smiley face and that would be it. You have to be able to identify what it is you're really trying to deal with, right? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
exactly.
Go ahead,
No,
Leslie.
it's true. It's a great guide and resource. So
I
it's
just I
definitely worthwhile getting that and using it with your oils, because you'll open up all new levels of oil use when you do that. You'll really find new things to do with your oils, and you'll fall in love with oils that you kind of just had there, but you didn't know how you felt about them, right?
Yeah.
one
Leslie.
So,
if I
um,
could just pop in really,
yes. Oh,
really quick.
yes, please. Sorry, let's go back.
I love the app. I love to have the book because I love to have something in my hand that I can go and turn and look up. But I just looked up right now. I've been so drawn lately to Arbor Vitae. And so I was looking up, well, I know it's, of divine grace and all of that, but I was looking up, oh, okay, I need to, maybe surrender. I need to feel more grounded. But then as you scroll down, it does have options to choose your application. Like it says diffuse or breathe in or apply to your upper stomach, crown of head, and bottom of the feet. So the app does have that information kind of mapping out your body where it would best serve.
I
So
know, right? Isn't that
it's the
cool?
best investment. It's the best investment.
Yeah, I think it's really amazing, and just super useful when you can have that with you. Yeah, Tammy, it's great to have. That's why it's nice to have the app on the go too. So we're gonna move into an oil, more in depth into oil experience, right? I just put some wild orange on. I don't know why I get up here in this room and there's something, dust or something, that always makes me like my throat gets all, I start coughing or something. So sorry. But wild orange just helped me out. So this is what we're going to do with each of the blends, or just one of the blends. So I kind of think that maybe just one of the blends or two of the blends is good. But if you're like an all blends person, then by all means. Okay, so we're going to go through these ones. The Emotional Aromatherapy line, and she broke these down into each one, right? And so we're going to be starting with cheer, and we're going to just go ahead and get out your oil, whatever oil you want or feel that you want right now. And then we're going to go through this personal oil experience process. So you're going to take this lid off, and I would say tilt it for this and maybe roll it a little bit when you have the roller ball, if it's not the bottle with the orifice, and smell it deeply. Right now you're going to do like you're in you know a yoga class. You're going to close off the other one nostril, and smell from one side, then the other side, right? So it's interesting. It's really strange how I can smell it more on this side. On the left side, for me, I smell more of the cheer than I do on the right side. Why? I don't know. But then we're going to go ahead and breathe in, smell it again, and we're going to apply it to a pulse point. So, right. And then, of course, sniff it again. It changes. It changes from the bottle to the person, to the skin. So, and it sometimes changes a little bit from the right. Isn't that weird? I know. See, this is fun and interesting. It brings you a lot more, shows you the depth of these beautiful blends that we just kind of take for granted as this little kit, and just like really oversimplify. So yeah, and so it's different on you. It's different in the diffuser too. So There you go. That's a wonderful way to do it. And I have the lady smelling a flower here because, we like to smell the flowers. Um, okay. So now here's some questions to record when you have an oil experience. Say you just did that oil experience. You're breathing in, you're doing all of that, right? You're trying the different ways of with the different nostrils and all of that. So do it in a way that you can. Fascinating. Tammy, let's see, what is Tammy saying? Tammy says that it activates the olfactory nerve on each individual hemisphere of the brain. Cool, right? Um, Thank you, Tammy. Yeah, so you can record like what memories are triggered or what do you feel? What do you sense in your body? Right? And then wait 3 minutes and then kind of reassess like, what do you feel now? How do you feel now? So, say you were like feeling kind of bummed out for, and you grabbed your chair and you did your oil experience and then 3 minutes later, you record how you feel. And you probably you're going to find that cheer made you feel better, right? So I have no idea what that is, Tammy, but interesting. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
So we have
Fascinating.
each hemisphere of our brain. One is aligned to logic and the other is aligned to language. So if you have a dyscalculia, you're having an issue with um, the numbers, then you can take an oil that helps promote that logical thinking and smell it through the side that's associated with it. You can do both sides, but it this what you just did, this individual side, proves that you can affect the hemispheres of the brain.
So cool. Oh boy. Wow. This is fascinating and exciting. Wow. Right? So then you're going to say, how do you feel now? I feel better. So, but really, like the thing is, looking at that, um, like the memories triggered or what it makes you feel like, I guarantee you that every single person has something that they pick out from this blend, from what we were talking about earlier. Like some people will pick out that spice, some people will pick out that citrus, some people will pick out the like the different parts of it, right? All the different parts of the ginger, there's geranium, so there's some floral in there too. you know it's just really a fascinating, like, experience to really think about, like, what is it about cheer exactly that makes you feel good, right? Right, so each of us, like, for me it kind of reminds me of like a drink, like a really, like, refreshing summer drink. Why? I don't know, but it does because it has that citrus in it and it has, just that wonderful scent to it. So it kind of gives me like this like tropical summery feeling to breathe in cheer, right? Yeah, or like a lemonade stand. Right. It's just really fascinating. So I would love to hear more. Like if you guys hear, like if you guys try this and you come up with some things, I'd love to hear what you come up with. I'd love for us to, share what we um think of it and what we're reminded of as we go through it, and so that doesn't have to be right this second, but if you do have something right this second, I'd love to know what is it that you feel from using your oil that you chose, and what does it remind you of, or what brings you back to that, over and over again, because we really do, like, have them as our allies and our friends as well. Our oils, they really do support us. So often we're drawn to them over and over again, the same one, and for specific reasons. But it would be interesting to think about those reasons and why, you know Like, I'm guilty of it. Let me just tell you, I'm guilty of generalizing. I kind of was like, cheer's okay, but when I really looked more into it, when I really gave myself the opportunity to experience it and use it, my feelings for cheer changed. Like, I wasn't just like, okay, it's great, but whatever. I just became much more fascinated by it and much more drawn to it. Right. So that's just a wonderful way to really just get in touch with that and what it does for you. So we're going to now go into each blend and just kind of have a little.
I have a quick question, Diana, while
Mhm.
you're switching. How long, like, let's say you're trying to find one of the emotional blends that sort of resonates with you. Like, let's say you haven't found yours yet. How long would you wait in between, like you're saying, wait 3 minutes, see how you feel? It seems like it wouldn't be a good idea to then just pick up another one and get, you know what I mean? Like, should you wait like an hour, 20 minutes, a day? Like, how long would you
Well, I wouldn't wait
recommend?
that long. I wouldn't wait that long. I would say, yeah, like maybe half an hour or 20 minutes
Okay.
up to an
Right.
hour, depending on you, though. Like, some people like really feel like, you know, they're really
Yeah.
still smelling it and they're really still experiencing it for a while. Just depends on your level of sensitivity to it. So, yeah. I mean, like, you could also try to, like, I'm going to try this one in the morning and then I'm going to try this one at lunchtime or something and then
Okay.
see, but yeah, give your body the chance to really use it, right? To really get
Yeah.
it in there and make that wonderful, you know, here's
Yeah.
here's
Like
what cheer does
infusing.
to you
Yeah.
right here. Yeah.
Because otherwise you'll be like,
So
cheer mixed with this after 10 minutes is what this, you know what I mean? Like, okay, that makes sense. Thank you. Because I was thinking
right.
I
No,
couldn't do them
it's true.
all. And then I thought, well, gosh, you'll be dizzy. But other than that,
You'll be
also, you won't know what the actual effect was of the third or fourth one because you've done, you know what I mean? So, all right, thank you. I
we
like the
did.
breakfast and lunch idea. That seems really
Yeah,
like if you're just
remember when
doing,
we did the class and we tried to
yeah,
clear in between
yeah,
when we were looking at the I Am Fabulous class,
yeah.
because
Thank
otherwise you're just like, it's too much. So I don't know what I'm perceiving here, right? You're wondering what are you doing? All right, so now we're going to look at them individually, and cheer is the uplifting blend, right? So it contains orange, clove, star anise, lemon myrtle, zdravitz, whatever that is, nutmeg, vanilla, ginger, and cinnamon bark. And or you can use like a citrus, like orange, lemon, um, and tangerine, or you could use peppermint because peppermint also has like an uplifting effect, right? So those are what you can use for that. And then you might do your oil experience. And then we're going to talk about what is the concept of uplifting, right? We're wonderful. It's wild geranium, so it's a floral. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Tammy. The Zdravitz. I don't know how to say it, but I sound like I do. Um, so uh, when we live in kind of a busy, stressed, pushing ourselves, right, kind of lifestyle, and we forget to tap into joy. We forget to tap into optimism, you know? We forget that. So we stick with negative things that happen, negative things that were said. We're, the news brings up just negative and scary stuff, and we're just, everything's about what's wrong, right? So we're just programmed, our brain is more programmed to look at that and to put more weight to that, to the unpleasant side, right? And yes, we do need to protect ourselves, right? We're not going to go, like Carrie said, and walk on the trail and walk right in front of the rattlesnake and be like, I'll be fine, right? No, we don't want to do that. That's not smart either. But we do want to tap into what's beautiful and wonderful in this world and in our lives, right? So we want to tap into those good feelings, and a exercise that you can do with the cheer is to bring that smile to your face, close your eyes maybe, and think of those images or ideas that you get, and memories or good memories that you get when you try cheer, and when you feel that cheer, attitude coming to you, right? So you want to set that association between the blend of cheer and those uplifting emotions inside of you. So that's how you get deeper into it. That's how you really, really can get something more out of cheer than just a really quick pick me up, right? It's to just take a minute and really go down to the level of where is it cheering you up. So, yeah, I mean, that's why I wanted to teach this class, because I just think that these are such wonderful assets that we have here, that we really should enjoy them and use them as much as possible, to support ourselves. So there's the cheer. Next is our motivate, right? So motivate is the encouraging blend, right? So it contains peppermint, clementine, coriander, basil, yuzu, melissa, rosemary, and vanilla, right? But to get this same effect as the motivate, you can also use peppermint again. Uh, white fir, it says, which we don't have white fir, so I don't know what the substitute would be for that. Lime and grapefruit. But you're going to do your personal oil experience again with your motivate when you decide to use your motivate, and you're going to look into it. You're going to say, what does inspire or motivate me? How can I get myself back to feeling encouraged when I'm feeling discouraged, right? Or when I'm feeling stressed or stuck. So, or frustrated. So you want to really look deeper into that emotion and think about it, right? Like, do you need to just remember that you're an amazing person, you're an accomplished person, you are somebody that people want to listen to and want to learn from and want to get support from? And you can do it. You can talk to them. You can reach out to people. You can accomplish whatever you're setting out to accomplish, right? You want to promote that confidence, that courage, that belief, and counteract the negative, right? Because you're gonna just go ahead and put on your motivate, and instead of just kind of going on with your day, you're gonna stop for a second. You're gonna practice visualizing the emotions of being. How do you feel when you're being encouraged, and when you feel like you've accomplished something? How does that feel inside of you? Where does that, like, does that warm your heart? Does that, put a smile on your face? Does that, make your hair tingle or something, right? Like your scalp tingle. Like, what does that feel? So lift up your chest, get into that power posture with the hands, like the Superman superhero posture, hands on hips, legs really strong under you, and really like chest lifted, and just feel your power, feel your capability. Motivate. That's what it's there for, right? So yeah, that's why I just love this class, because we just take them, we kind of, like, I was just like, well, I'm sleepy, so I'm going to put this put on the motivate, wake me right up, which it does. But also let's use it to motivate and encourage, right? So next we're going to talk about our beautiful, beautiful console. So console is the comforting blend, and what it contains is frankincense, patchouli, ylang ylang, labdanum, amyris, sandalwood, rose, and osmanthus. Other oils you can use to console yourself are lavender, rosemary, rose, and clary sage. Um, So again, what is this concept of comfort, right? We experience disappointments, challenges, losses, pains, worries, right? Chronic stress, and we don't know what's going to happen, right? Where we fear things that we can't predict. We don't know, what's going to happen. And sometimes a traumatic thing will happen and we feel like, oh my gosh, I can't handle this. I'm just like, this is just washing over me, like covering me up like a wave of water, and I don't know what to do. Right. And we can push ourselves so far and so long that we are just absolutely exhausted and we are losing our, ability to do stuff because we're just experiencing that exhaustion, that chronic stress that just wore us down, that just brought us that, down, that we feel like we cannot move forward, right? So we definitely need to have comfort. We definitely need to have consolation. We definitely need to build up our reserves physically and emotionally to deal with the things that are happening with us, right? So we definitely also don't want to be in that place if we can. We want to be more self-aware to the point that we don't let ourselves go down so low. But it's really hard. It's really hard this year, and just every year that you have loss, that you experience these really bad things happening, it takes you out. It really does. And that's where you can really reach for your console, and you can practice this feeling of being upheld and consoled at this deep spiritual level. And you can wrap your arms around yourself and feel love and strength surround you. You can put your hands together in prayer. You can do whatever, is going to console you and support you and reach for, the higher power that can change everything, right? So console is wonderful to put yourself into that state of mind, into that, you know, point where you're just really like reaching for the comfort and getting consolation for how you're feeling, and just, put this over your heart, a wonderful place to put it, or, put it in your diffuser. I like to put a lot of my oils, emotional oils, here behind the ear. I really like that, like behind the back of my ear. And I really feel like it's just like going right in to there, besides smelling it. And it just really helps, like, quickly. So there's our beautiful console. And then next, peace. So peace is the reassuring blend, and it contains vetiver, lavender, ylang ylang, frankincense, clary sage, marjoram, labdanum, and spearmint. And you can also use lavender or like bergamot, melissa, frankincense, other citrus oils that feel calming to you, um, and relaxing to you. So the concept of reassurance or peace is just, you know, we need rest and we need renewal, right? We need reassurance. We need to really take care of ourselves in terms of the, we have super activity going on the one hand, and we have to restore ourselves and nourish ourselves, you know on the other hand, in order to keep going. So we just really need to have that balance, and peace can really help bring you that, because it really does help you to be grounded and centered. And it's wonderful to associate peace with like a peaceful image in your mind. So if there's something like, a beach or a mountain or something view that you can think of as like just peaceful, or like still water, then it's wonderful to use peace to bring you to that place and to that moment, because you're, you're intact, your body and mind work together, and they are going to, you know, help you. So you need to help them and support them as well, right? So you're going to get your piece out, you're going to take a minute, you're going to practice, feel that relaxation in your body and mind in this moment, in this breath. You're going to feel all the things move around you that are just surrounding you, move away, and give you that blessed space, right? To feel peace and to feel reassurance. Sorry, let me see what Dorothy says. Um right? I know. Adaptive, a blankie. That sounds amazing. I know. I've got some hot tea right here. I'm like, I'm safe and warm. And I'm glad I wore my scarf. It doesn't feel cold to me, but yeah, how nice. All right. So spring in New Mexico, typical. You never know what's going to happen, right? Okay. So next we're on to passion. Passion is the inspiring blend, right? So the passion blend has cardamom, cinnamon bark, ginger, clove, sandalwood, jasmine, vanilla, damiana, and you can also use peppermint, orange, helichrysum, and arbor vitae with if you don't have passion. Yeah, passion is an amazing, complex, lovely thing. So, yeah, so the concept of inspiration is, yearning, is that yearning for something that really matters, something that really has meaning in our lives. And, we're drawn, we're magnetically drawn to passionate people, to people who are really into what, what they're talking about, what they're doing. We're just like, oh wow, that's fascinating. Like we kind of ride along their excitement to get our own like vicarious like sense of like, oh wow, that's really cool, I never knew that, right? So when people have passion for something, they really do bring you closer to it as well. So in order to live with passion, you have to live according to what really matters to you. And know what your values are, know what your goals are, you know live with integrity and have that connection, have that connection. And you can be inspired by so many things. You can be inspired by, you know dance, art, nature, your family, your friendships, religion or religious beliefs, your beauty, wellness, work. Any of these things can be really, really inspiring to you. And, you know, you want to know what really makes you go, right? You're looking for your why. And that's what passion helps to bring to you, right? It helps you to bring your mind into making those choices and feeling those feelings for whatever you're doing, right? So when you use your passion oil and you're trying to bring in inspiration, you're going to practice by visualizing that deep thrill, that satisfaction, what energizes your mind and lights up your soul. Sorry, I didn't misspelled that. And lights up your soul, and bring that light into your being, like right now in this moment, and feel yourself with that inner glow of passion. And just, it's a beautiful blend, and it really, really, really brings you closer to that inspiration of what really matters to you, what really is at your core, at your center, that you really want to keep going towards, right? You want to follow your passion. And then our very last one is forgive, the renewing blend. So it is a blend of spruce, bergamot, juniper berry, myrrh, arbor vitae, nootka tree, thyme, and citronella. And you may also use frankincense, lemon, or other citrus oils with it as well. So in order to, instead of it, if you don't have it, if you don't have the forgive, right? So the concept of renewal is, about forgiveness of ourselves, really, is what it is. We if we forgive ourselves, we can forgive, the imperfections of others. Or if we can forgive the imperfections of others, we can forgive ourselves, right? Either way, we need to look at our own potential for the things that we want to be better at, the things that we don't want to have in our life, right? So we need to look at the concept of that and make sure that we're looking at, I don't want people to be disrespectful of me. How am I being disrespectful of other people, right? We want to be able to hold up that mirror and bring about that forgiveness and that compassion and um, the knowing that we all make mistakes, in ourselves. Bring up that mirror and see that and tell yourself, I forgive you. You need to forgive yourself as much as, you may need to forgive someone else for yourself, right? Because once you can forgive, you release a weight, you release something that is really holding you back, that is really holding you in an emotional, unpleasant place because you're constantly reminded of that unpleasantness, right? And once you release it, you really, really do have a greater capacity for love and connection in your life, right? So, forgiveness is just so important. So, the forgive practice is just to soften and melt that hardness, that judgment you're holding on to deep inside, and just really release and open your heart to healing and feeling that weight lifting off of you. So, yeah, I mean, these are the 6 blends, and I just encourage you so much to use them and to try these exercises with them. And I have some more things to say, but I want to know if you have any questions or if you have any comments or observations that you'd like to share with any of the blends that we've been using.
I do have a question about your journaling. Do you have any recommendations of, like, I don't know, just like a notebook, or like, how are you laying out your journal? Are you finding
Yeah. I
like
I like a
identifications of
I like
feelings?
just a journal, right? Like just a blank one, but I have found a lot of progress in doing like a little calendar day planner journal too. Like I've made a lot of progress with that. I used to get these really cute ones. I can't remember what they were, but I found them on Amazon and they just look like a little book. And then they have like the 4 squares, like they have like, 4 days on them, like, on each page. And I would just like write stuff for that day. Like, we went to blah, blah, blah. I felt worried about blah, 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 just like a little tiny journaling area. And I just loved it. And I was really able to kind of look back and remember a lot of things that were going on and that happened. And like, really, I just got a lot out of it. So it just depends on how you want to do it because some people um get really, they feel like journaling is really like a chore, oh, you're welcome, Dorothy. And so I don't want you to feel like it's a chore. Like if you can do it quickly and kind of like stick to one thing that you're working on, I think that it can really, really move the needle. And then like if you're using your tools along with, then you can really, really move into that. So I just really quickly want to show you our emotional health and mood support. I know it's run into time as always, my classes do. And just want to show you that your cleanse and restore kit is an amazing thing to help you both detox your body, but it also helps you to detox your gut, which is your gut brain, which also leads to emotions. So when there's not movement in that gut area, you can have some stagnant emotions. You can have some feelings that you don't want to continue feeling. And the cleanse and restore kit is an emotional support as much as it is a physical support, because that bacterial balance is just something that's so important. Our neurotransmitters are produced in the gut. So we want to have a healthy gut so that it helps us to get all of the things that our brain needs to function properly and for our emotions to feel good, right? And we don't want to be blocking that off by having a blockage there. And then, of course, we have our wonderful lifelong vitality, which has so many things that supports. And of course, DDR Prime, because it's activating our self-healing, serenity to help you relax and also stop worrying and also sleep. And then our Mido 2 Max, which is great for energy support, and also just when you have that depleted adrenal system, this is really going to support that and help you to heal that, so that you're not in that rushing, pushing thing that's really just wearing you down. And of course, our wonderful deep blue polyphenol, because it just reduces the inflammation and it just helps you move away from that fight or flight response, move away from that stress response, and just really supports you. It's my main, support. I couldn't live without it myself. And then of course our immunity. So your immunity wellness kit, just using your On Guard, just using these things that help you to build up your body's defense system, they make a huge difference in your emotional wellness as well. Because when you're constantly open to, you know, emotional wearing down, you're also open to the things that are out there that can make you sick, you're worn down already emotionally, and then those things just pile on. So it's just super important to have this balance in your life in general. So that's why I included that. And then I'm going to show you our little blends. So these are some great blends. If you do not want to use lavender, so these are just little 5 ml rollerball blends, and they're just a few drops of each. They're great. They work great. Romelia made me these adorable, she designed these adorable little emoji things that go with these on these labels, and I just loved them. So I use these a lot. They're very helpful. So they're like my little great, they're like a great little travel pack, to go with you on the go. So yeah, you can make these. If you do not like lavender, or if you're not able to use lavender, you can substitute functionally the Roman chamomile, petitgrain, or coriander for lavender instead. So any of those are good. And coriander is like, I don't know, I love the way it smells. I think it smells so good. So that's also there. If you want to take a screenshot and save that, I hope you can read it okay. I kind of had a fun time with this little presentation, making it my own. So hopefully it's not too, like hard to read, because I think it's really a fun format. So and then of course our sample wellness box is the Emotional Aromatherapy Touch Kit. Sorry, I forgot to finish my last sample wellness thing there. Plus a balance roller, plus a Citrus Bliss hand lotion. You're at 126 PV. Look at that, right? You'll get all of the 6 touch rollers, and you can get a balance. Why did I say balance roller? I don't think we can get balance roller, can we? No, a bottle of balance and a Citrus Bliss hand lotion. So that's like the little lotion because it's just like a $5, um, 5 PV lotion. So it's really a wonderful little kit to like gift to anybody who's kind of wanting to learn more about the emotional aromatherapy and get that support. Or you can get the whole kit, which is the 5 mils, which are for your diffuser, and you can make rollers out of them as well. And that's 150 PV. And then if you get your lifelong vitality and you get plus your kit, this is 100 PV, the kit of the touch rollers. That is a really great way to just overall support yourself and kind of get your goals going. So yeah, maybe like on a 200 PV month, you could do that and you could really like get all the prizes that go along with that. So I don't think we can now. I'm not sure. We did with it came in a kit, but it might be in the works in the future, Leslie, because they did it before. So they might do it again. I know I didn't look over this page and correct it. So sorry. Thank you. So thank you for coming to class. Sorry if it ran over a little bit. If you have questions or want to know more or just, need to get some more resources, obviously look at our Raven's Nest and Essentials members and friends on Facebook or our Raven's Nest essentials.com site. We'll have those there. And also if you need to contact me, I'm Diana Wellness is Essential, both on Facebook, Instagram, and at Gmail. So easy to find me. You're welcome. And again, do you have any questions? Just at the last minute, I'm going to stop share unless anybody needs any slides. So
I don't have any questions. I have just a feedback for myself. I've been so stuck on Magnolia for the past year. And when we just did that cheer with each nostril, I swear I always smell the cinnamon first, the little spiciness first. This time around, and it could be because I'm just in a different space in my head, I actually smelled the citruses in there. I hardly ever smell those first, but I smelled them really profoundly from my left nostril. And I was able
fascinating,
to smell the
right?
vanilla on my right. I hardly caught a scent of the spices until I put it on my skin. I found that
Yeah,
really fascinating. I don't know what drove that, but
right?
that's never happened before. I can't recall a time that I've actually smelled the citruses first. I'm always smelling the spiciness of it. But it was that was just, I just wanted to share that.
No,
and
that's so cool, right?
and
And
to
it
start
opens
journaling
and
with,
it really
yeah,
opens on your skin.
and journal with oils. I journal all the time. I'm not very consistent with the oils, and I need to do that. I really need to do that because it's very helpful. So thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome. I know. I just want to bring some love for our little buddies here. I feel like we kind of take them for granted. So they're much more than just, a one hit, They're deeper than that.
I
So
almost wish that they didn't. I love the names because the names are helpful, but I think you're right. It's like you see cheer and you just think, okay, you pigeonhole it, right? You just kind of think it's like that's what it is. But it's just look at what's in it and then look at wheel of like citruses are this and spices are that, and then like make up your own names for it, right? Like, because it is so like, you know what I'm saying. Passion is one that for me is just really, really grounding. And I don't think that when you read passion as a name that that's what you think that you're going to get from it. Like if I'm looking on the website and I've never smelt it, and I'm looking for something that's going to be just like super soothing and grounding for myself, I'm not going to order passion. But when you smell passion and you see that it's all of those spices and herbs, and man, is it grounding and wonderful. And so, you know, you got to kind of go open. This is why it'll be nice when we can have in-person classes again too, because people can experience the oils. But you know, the names sell them short. They really do.
They do. They kind of do. Yeah.
There's so much more than just that name, right? Forgive is the same. Forgive is one of those that is incredible. And you see forgive, and you think, oh, I don't have that, you know, like nobody in their, you know, most people aren't walking around going, man, I really need to forgive
You have
more.
a block. You have a block against it. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But man, forgive is incredible. And who was it
I
who
ain't
came,
forgiving nobody. Forget it.
who's calling it release instead? Who was that on our team? Oh, it was Cindy, I think, who said, I'm changing the name to release, which it is. It's very release.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of go, oh yeah, I got some stuff I could release. You know what I mean? But like it's different, right? You don't think of it. I don't know. Just be open-minded. Don't just look at what's in them and then maybe look at that. I loved how you went through each explanation like that. That was so helpful. I've never really dove that deeply into the wheel and how, and I'm super fired up about that like 6-wheel deal that you had at the beginning. So much cool stuff in here.
Okay.
Oh yes, I like that too. That made it that it just was very easy to
Yeah.
follow and to choose. Very easy to choose an oil. I really like that one. That's
Yeah.
something that you
Oh
can
yeah.
definitely, I can see that for like for kids and
Yeah.
for people that are very, very brand new to oils, but also people that may have some cognitive issues that may not
Yeah.
understand what you're saying. But okay, look at this wheel. Look at this. You got something going on here. Yeah, go for a mint. Yeah, I really like that. That was really simple. I love that breakdown. That was I don't think I've ever seen that before. I mean, presented that way. I don't think I've ever seen that. But it made it really, really easy, approachable, very
Yeah.
approachable.
It's just one of those wonderful like things that doTERRA always puts together. You know, people contribute and put these things together, and then doTERRA kind of files it away, but you might not just run into it when you're looking, you know. But it's just that, you know, me, I'm an investigative reporter, so I just dig. I keep digging and I find it. Then I share it with you.
Well, that was cool. I feel like for anyone who maybe has even just the top 10 oils in their collection, you can find a tool in your top 10 oils that meets somewhere on that, you know, mint, citrus, spice, you know, somewhere on that situation, and get support immediately before you even have to start thinking about expanding what you have. And I love that. I just think
Would
it's
be
great.
a nice handout, like in a welcome packet. It would be a really nice handout just because it's so easy.
Yeah.
Anybody can read that. Anyone can really understand it. Well, basically anybody can really understand it and
Yeah.
make a
And they
choice,
went
a
deep.
really
They
good
went deep on each
choice.
of those. If you look, if you really get in there and look at them, you can read all the
Yeah.
monoterpenes and sesquiterpenes and all the stuff that you would want to know. Like they really, it's just a wonderful resource. So I'll share the PowerPoint
Yeah.
on files in our group, and
That would be
you know, you
great.
guys can see that. But yeah, you know, just
Find those.
doTERRA is amazing.
If you're someone who likes that kind of stuff, where I don't know, Diane, if this is where you found it, but typically if you go to like a kit or an oil, down where the pip link is, sometimes there'll also be a PowerPoint link, and you can click that, and that's where you unlock like all of these amazing pre-made PowerPoints. But they have these images. There's no words, like, you know, you don't get to actually watch it, but you can see the images. Is that like where you found, is it one of those like?
I found it in the where you like say you just type in the search bar in doTERRA on the
Oh,
site and you type uh like you just type motivate or emotional aromatherapy is actually where I found it. So I typed emotional aromatherapy and they have like these kind of resources that you can purchase if you want to. Like they'll send them to you like a little brochure or whatever for $1 or something like that. But it says shop or like products and then it says blog and then it says other.
yes.
I clicked on other, and that's where you find they have the ebooks, they have the PowerPoints, and sometimes they'll, like, for example, I think I posted multiple things in my group and on my page where it's just like the one page and it's all about like citronella or all about like something like that, and they'll go like especially like something like adaptive, they'll go into like every single way that you can use it or all the proteins, and then there's all these little articles, blog posts, all these things posted, links inside of that, plus videos and stuff. So sometimes you can find that when you're looking for the individual um item. It's just like playing around on the site. There's just so
Oh,
much to find.
I love that. This was awesome. I feel like I need to overhaul and balance myself. I really like that breathing test whole thing too with the journal.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just could go to town. I mean, I swear every time we do a class, I'm like, oh, now can we just have like one class a week so I can have an entire week to explore what I learned in that class? Because I get so excited about what I learned in this class. And then tomorrow, I'm going to be like, oh, I feel like I'm spinning. Wait, where's the wheel? Where's overwhelm? What was that one? The overwhelm with awesome information.
That's right. That's on this wheel.
You know what I
That's
mean?
on
I want
this
to
one. Yep.
like going through and journaling and and I really would love to do this with my teen kids. I think having them be able to hone in on like the oils that and write how it makes them feel. What a great way for them to identify an emotional support oil.
Oh yeah, these are like excellent vocabulary builders.
There you go. It'll be homeschooling as well.
Just
So,
kidding, homeschooling moms. Don't do it.
well, this was awesome.
Your kids are like, "Mom, you're awful." Why?
Why? Yeah, identify your emotion, and then there'll be a spelling test on it tomorrow. Um, so, she'll be posting those images. Remember those awesome like the wheels and stuff in the group. So look for it there. And then I'll snag them and as soon as I can get them up on the website, we'll have them saved there. And that way you guys can always access this. If you have a friend who you were sitting here listening and you're like, man, my brother could really use this in his life, we'll have that access to it for him to be able to check out too in his own time. So, or whomever you're thinking of. So, know that we're trying to really work hard to compile information so that you can help yourself and others and maybe revisit if the kids were going crazy for dinner tonight while you were trying to listen so hard and you just couldn't really, you know what I mean? Reality, right? And so, I mean, I know that was my husband, it was, yeah, we had a lot going on here a little bit. I'm like, go away, I'm in a class. But yeah, so we're gonna try and get that out for you guys. But Diana, wow, great info. I loved it. So
I
good.
love it. Me too.
Good work. And this weekend, Diana's gonna be working on her certification, right? What is it? It's a personal.
It's harmonizing life coach. So it's about harmonizing. It's about emotions. It's about helping you to harmonize your life and live according to your cycles and rhythms and just really get into what do you really need.
I
Slow
love it.
down. Take
Just
care of you.
take it to another level, right? I love it. So, and aren't we lucky that we all get to benefit from all of her education? So another benefit, right? We all love that. We all love that. All right, guys, have a wonderful evening. I don't think we have any questions. Everyone is just kind of like in their emotional oil cocoon right now, enjoying apparently snow where you are. I mean, it's
They're like this, right, Celine? Peace.
relaxing. Anyway, have a lovely evening. Love you so much. And we'll see you tomorrow night for a Q&A. Send us questions if you missed any. Mwah!